and welcome to Bramall Sheffield for Sheffield United against West Ham United, and what a game it really does promise to be. Bad blood between these two sides stretching back over 13 years over the Carlos Tevez affair of 2007 when Sheffield United were relegated because of West Ham, as it turned out, signing an ineligible player. Two ineligible players at the time, Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano. But those days are hopefully behind now, but there will be a white hot atmosphere at Bramall Lane this evening as the teams are already out on the field. So let me give you the two lineups very quickly. Let's start, of course, with Sheffield United with Henderson in goal, Basham, Egan, O'Connell, Baldock, Lundstrom, Norwood and Fleck, Edna Stevens, David McGoldrick and Ollie McBurney get the striking roles. On the bench for Sheffield United, we've got Eastwood, Sharp, Robinson, Jagielka, Mousse, Osborne and Bejic, the former Everton player. Let's look at West Ham side very quickly, with Fabianski in goal for them, with Zabaleta, Balbuena, Ogbonna and Cresswell across the back for David Moyes' side. David Moyes just taken over the club. And then Lanzini, Noble, Rice, Masaku, Anderson and Sebastian Haller, who's just got back into goal scoring form the other week as well in the Premier League. And so plenty of changes from that 2-0 win at West Ham on Sunday night as well. On the bench for the Hammers, Snodgrass, Fornales, Soares, Diop, David Martin the goalkeeper, Costa and Nagia, and the referee today is Michael Oliver, who comes from County Durham. So we're all set in a few moments to get underway here in a game that really ought to be a fantastic occasion. Sue's on already and she says good evening. We're just waiting for the action to commence, so don't hopefully we'll get the commentary soon as we get it. As soon as we pick it up, we'll bring it to you live. Fortunately we're having to hang on a second, but hopefully we'll bring this live to you. And we're coming up now. We're just about near the kick-off time. It's 8 o'clock in the evening in the Steel City, and if you're fancying a Friday night in and you don't fancy the rush and bundle of a Friday night out, stay with us here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. We've got some alternative entertainment to bring you here in the form of a football commentary, and it's Sheffield United and West Ham United doing battle with each other. And already 16 seconds into the game, we have kicked off already, and we're underway this time. Sheffield United in those striped shirts attacking the goal to our right, and there's a cracking atmosphere, as it always is around Bramall Lane on a night like this, and hopefully everything will be up and running again. There's always a few teaming problems, and we are live for you as Sheffield United make their way down there. So we're live. Hopefully we'll be live now fully in just a second or two. So just let's recap the two teams in case you missed it earlier. Dean Henderson is in goal. Basham, Egan, O'Connell, Baldock, Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck, Stevens, McGoldrick and McBurney, as the ball is passed back to the goalkeeper, which is Dean Henderson on loan from Manchester United. One ball forward up. Yeah, it's the only live match we'll be covering this weekend, as I'll be otherwise engaged with other commitments. And here's Anderson picking it up for West Ham. Several changes from that cup tie team that won quite very easily at Gillingham 6 days ago. But just to remind you, the referees, Michael Ober, County Durham, to assistant Simon Bennett on the far side, Daniel Cook on the near side. Ball out of play, it will be a throw in to West Ham. Fourth official tonight is Simon Hooper, and VAR in operation as usual. Chris Kavanagh is the VAR referee, assisted tonight at Stockley Park by Andy Halliday. And keep your comments clean, of course, We are a family programme, goes without saying, and you're all welcome to comment in the comment section, of course, on the right hand side of your stream screen. And then our next football after that, just to remind you, is an FA Cup replay on Wednesday. We are at Old Trafford for Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup third round replay. And that'll be our next live commentary game here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. This is the only match of the Premier League weekend that we'll be able to cover for you. Zabaleta keeping that in on the near side. West Ham in the dark blue shirts, incidentally. Sheffield United in the red and white stripes. Sheffield United attacking the goal end where the West Ham supporters are. Small two-tiered stand where the West Ham supporters are based to the left. Sheffield United attacking the old Kop here at Bramall Lane to the West Ham attacking the goal to our right where the Kop is, but where it's populated, of course, by Sheffield United fans. We're in a nice position in the Tony Curry stand, named after the Sheffield United legend, of course, of the 1970s, who delighted the crowds for many, many years at Bramall Lane. And what an atmosphere it should prove to be, as McGoldrick makes a terrific run inside the penalty area. But I think the flag has gone up for an offside decision and a free kick. It is. How come Manchester United and Wolves ended up a replay? Well, they finished 0-0 on Saturday is the answer to that one, Sue. Yes, McGoldrick. I have to say, Sheffield United have impressed me this season, watching from afar. It's the first time I've commentated on them this season. We have covered them before, but Russ was in the commentary box for that magnificent victory over Arsenal back in November, where they really held it together. And now they made an early mistake, and I tell you what, Henderson and a defender there. Well, I think it might have been John Egan as well. Just bear with us, you're not missing anything. West Ham have got a throw in, I think, which is coming up to 5 minutes gone in the first half. JB Clark YouTube channel expects it's a free kick to Sheffield United in actual fact. Ball breaks now to Zabaleta centrally. Now the ball spread out to Anderson on the halfway line. There was a foul on halfway there by John Egan, so a free kick to West Ham just inside their own half, incidentally. Sebastian Haller was the man who was tripped up. I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who's been with us for the last few weeks, and the listening figures have been sky high. 4-figure commentary games, 4-figure sums of commentary games is fantastic. It was there was it was a poor game in the sense that it just wasn't a good game, and also the fact that Manchester United didn't actually register a single shot on target in the entire 90 minutes. Wolves hit the post, I think, late on, but apart from that, it wasn't a very good cup tie, I have to tell you. 7:45 kickoff, incidentally, at Old Trafford, but I fancy Nuno Santos' side will go there with the intentions of winning. Manchester United are really struggling at the moment in their League Cup semi. They were beaten 3-1 at Old Trafford by Manchester City on Tuesday night. A real shocker there for United, but City looking in imperious Carabao Cup form. The other semi-final is very evenly poised between Leicester City and Aston Villa. 1-1 with Villa holding the away goal as Stevens is fouled on the near side and will be a free kick. It was Anderson who tripped him up. But going to this game, 6 minutes gone, it's 0-0, incidentally, if you joined us late. Sheffield United, terrific season they've had in under Chris Wilder, top 7 in the Premier League. Here's John Fleck with a crossing from the left hand side, takes a deflection of Zabaleta, and it will be a corner kick on the near left hand side to Sheffield United. Sheffield United had a terrific season. I've been watching them on television this season and they've been absolutely amazing. They tore my team Burnley to shreds earlier on in the season and should have won by more than the 3-0 scoreline it ended up being. And here's Norwood into the penalty area, into the 6-yard box, flipped away by Fabianski in the West Ham goal, but Sheffield United keeping it alive here. And of course, they had that thrilling 3-3 match against Manchester United here, which was just unbelievable. I think they were 2-0 up in that game, and then United came back, and then they went 3-2 up Manchester United, and then Sheffield United, through Billy Sharp, who was on the bench incidentally tonight, got a late equaliser. So with Sheffield United, you never know what's going to happen next. They have had a couple of bad defeats, significant defeats against Newcastle and one or two others, but apart from that, it's not been a bad season. They struggled past AFC Fylde in the Cup on Saturday. On Sunday rather. They won 2-1, but Fylde gave them a heck of a game here at Bramall Lane. Should be a good battle in the midfield as Ender Stevens takes it up on the left hand side. Stevens with the ball into the penalty area, looking towards number 7 Lundstrom, and he gets the ball back. And already, good football again. Bolduc gets a good cross in there. McGoldrick's waiting on the edge of the 6-yard line. And Sheffield United taking the game already to West Ham in the opening exchanges. Fleck is available on the left-hand side. This is John Fleck. Left-footed cross into the penalty area towards the far post. But West Ham dealing with that one okay. And then they clear it long and high towards Sebastian Haller. Now Declan Rice takes it up. Good start to the game here. This is Masaku now for West Ham. David Moyes back in charge. They had a disastrous start under Manuel Pellegrini, where they just really struggled to get any consistency going, and in the end they ended up in the relegation zone, and there was unrest in the camp by the time Pellegrini was finally sacked. You are right. It is the Greasy Chip Butty song. It's always a great atmosphere. The Greasy Chip Butty song, based on the old John Denver song Senses, of course. Country and Western, of course. There's me, all knowledge of country and Western and popular music. In the football, we're 9.5 minutes old, more or less, and it's Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 0. And a long ball forward, and that might just find McBurney, but the ball out of play, and it will be a throw-in. The reason we can't get too much crowd noise is because there's other commentary taking place as well. There's other commentators in the vicinity, and we don't want them masking over my masterpiece. West Ham, 2 wins in 2 games since reappointing Moyes, 6-0 in aggregate. Having said that, 2 of the goals came in a very well-battled FA Cup tie at Gillingham, when Gillingham was very unlucky not to at least force a replay. And here's a chance now, and it was McBurney playing the ball in now. Then what can O'Connell do? It was Stevens, getting the corner there of Zabaleta on the left-hand side. Edgar Stevens looks a player. Been very impressed with his work rate and determination in a Blade shirt this season. I did really well to keep that in, actually, and force that corner to be taken on the near side. McBurney's in the penalty area. McGoldrick's there. Egan and O'Connell is up. Ollie Wallwood, who was born in Burnley, with the corner, and and it's headed over the top. I don't know who got in there. It was might have been John Egan, I think. No, it was one of the 3 centre backs. I'm sure it was John Egan. It was John Egan, 6 yards out. I think he should be scoring there. If he keeps that down, it's 1-0 to the Blades, the team that are going so well in the Premier League this season. I wonder if Chris Wilder, in his wildest dreams, if he found the pun, could have really believed that Sheffield United would be right up amongst the top 7 or 8 teams at this stage. There were everybody's dead certs for relegation, including mine included, because I felt they were. I felt they weren't good enough, but I have to say, the way that teams have failed to pick their tactics or even spot any of their tactics a mile off and get fooled by them, it's just been immense. They play some immensely good football, and I've been very impressed by the way they've got about their business already this season. Chris Wilder is a man that will stand no nonsense there, that is for certain. I think you can have a certainty there with that. It's a great atmosphere here, and Sue's enjoying it. Anyone else? I think everyone's out here. It's Friday night. Fabianski with a poor goal kick. In fact, he reached halfway. In fact, it found his own play. I don't know why he was apologising there, because it didn't look a bad goal kick. I've seen worse from Burnley's Nick Pope in the past, but they are a good side. They've made Bramall Lane a real fortress in recent weeks. And the referee has stopped play here because, that's right, Fabianski's got injury. And that doesn't look good. And West Ham have had their goalkeeping problems this season. David Martin playing in the win over Chelsea earlier this season. And David Martin, the former Millwall goalkeeper, son of course of Alvin, who was a West Ham stalwart, was born in your neck of the woods. In fact, so Alvin Martin was born in Bootle. But meanwhile, Fabianski is in some discomfort. It was some now and then. He's pulled something there. He's pulled a hamstring, I think, when taking the goal kick, and he knows. I think he knew straight away. I thought he hit a bad goal kick at first, and obviously I was watching the path of the ball, so apologies if I didn't pick up the injury soon enough. But David Martin played the Heroes, had an Heroes game at you may recall at Chelsea when they got a 1-0 victory over Frank Lampard's side, and a very tearful and disconsolate Lucas Fabianski makes his way off. We've had 13.5 minutes, and he's getting a nice gentle applause from the West Ham fans who have travelled up from the M1 from London to the Steel City tonight. David Martin will know what to expect now in the Premier League. Remember, he got that clean sheet at Chelsea. Obviously there's history between these two clubs as we see Fabianski go off there down to the tunnel as David Martin comes on. So one substitute already used in the 14th minute for Sheffield United. It's 0-0 in case you just joined us. Just give you the teams: Anderson, Basham, Egan, O'Connell, Baldock, Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck, Stevens, McGoldrick and McBurney. Martin now on for West Ham. That's the first forced change. So it's Martin, Zabaleta, Balbuena, Ogbonna, Creswell, Lanzini, Noble, Rice, Masako, Anderson and Haller. And here comes Sheffield United again with John Fleck, left hand side. Tries to probably dilly-dally too much on the cross. Here's Anderson now to get it away for West Ham, who have had to make a substitution in goal. This is Sebastian Haller on the far side. He's up against Basham. He's got away from Basham. Haller with a shot. Right footed, but into the stand and behind for a goal kick. You want to do what you want, mate, but it's nothing to do with us. We're not permitted to live stream full match action. That's why it's an audio commentary, and we've got people like Sue who are blind and can't watch any football. So these sort of commentaries are a godsend to her. People like Sue and people like that, and expats who can't get access to a television set abroad. Keeps them up to date with the lives of daily life of English football as things stand here. So Fabianski having to sit the rest of this one out. There's obviously an injury there. Well, hopefully, I think he'll be okay. So I don't think there's any need for him to go to hospital, but you'll certainly have a scan on it and all that afterwards. But obviously in his own mind he knew he couldn't continue with 16 minutes gone. Incidentally, Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0 in the Premier League from Bramall Lane. Full audio commentary. This is the only Premier League commentary we've got up the weekend as the ball is shifted into the penalty area, turned away by Zabaleta for a corner kick to Sheffield United, who were last featured on the JB Court YouTube channel at the start of November when we saw them beat Arsenal by a 0-0 in a crazy Monday night game. And Fleck to take the corner from the far side. John Egan, who almost scored, nearly did that time. So Egan is forward on the halfway line, and then it goes towards McGoldrick, who almost got the header in. And West Ham just struggling to get this ball away there, and it's Anderson who keeps it in play. West Ham trying to play the right way. Noble, the captain, does well there against Egan there, gets away from his man, tries to pick out Zabaleta, but just over hit the pass there. the West Ham United one club man, of course. Mark Noble up there with the likes of the Billy Bonzers and the Trevor Brookings of this world. Here's Declan Rice, who's been the subject of very much big interest from much bigger clubs. Was a former, played 3 games for the Republic of Ireland, all being in friendlies. As the ball comes in towards Sebastian Haller, Anderson trying to turn it down, and it's come away again. Declan Rice, the subject of an international tug of war between the Irish Republic and England. But he played 3 matches for the Republic of Ireland at full international level, but all of them were friendlies. If he had played in a competitive game, he could have, for Ireland, he would not have been allowed to play for England. That is the ruling I get from FIFA. Meanwhile, whilst I'm talking to you, Sheffield United have won a free kick. Stevens bundled off the ball on the left-hand side, so a free kick to Sheffield United. Fleck and Norwood are the 2 men committing. Norwood, of course, born very much in my hometown of Burnley. And Sheffield United snapped him up. They snapped up a real bargain as that ball comes into the penalty area. And it's loose, and it's a chance. Oh, inside the penalty area, left foot shot. And another chance goes begging for Sheffield United. As West Ham cleared their lines, Balbrena got it out. It was Fleck's free kick into the penalty area. It's caused all the trouble, and it came to Lundstrom, who struck it goal bound, but Balbrena got in the way, and it's a throw in on the near side to West Ham United. 0-0. The game live. It's the only live match of the weekend for us. Next live football, just to remind you, Wolves away at Manchester United in the FA Cup 3rd round replay. 7:45 kickoff at Old Trafford, and we'll be there bringing you full match commentary of that one here on the YouTube channel as there's an offside there against Sheffield United and a free kick to West Ham. Jack O'Connell, the big centre half, number 5. Well, where's number 5 on his shirt? Terrific player. I mean, most of the Sheffield United side have come up through Chris Wilder through the league. Some of them started off with him when they were in the 3rd tier of English football. And they've certainly gone up through the ranks. Right, absolutely sure. And togetherness as a team and as a squad is there to all to see, although they are frustrated that it's a 3 kick. Oliver Norwood leads Sheffield United, incidentally. He's their talismanic captain, a player made in Burnley, but still forging a good career for himself down here in Sheffield. Croswell to take the free kick, left hand side, far side as we look from the Tony Curry stand. And Haller's in there. Balbrena has come forward from the back. Angelo Bonner's in there too. So a real test of Sheffield United's resolve. 20.5 minutes gone as the 3 kick comes in from Creswell from the far side, and it's headed away by Egan for Sheffield United. But here come West Ham into the penalty area, and the referee says no penalty. I think Masaku may have slipped actually. It's a throw-in, in fact. Is the ball into the penalty area again. Looking towards Ogbono, who stayed forward from the original corner. Got in from the left-hand side, and it's Sheffield United's ball about 2 yards in from the corner quadrant. And there was Masaku fell to the ground here. No, he slipped over. And I don't even think VAR would have even tried to attempt to overturn that sort of decision. There was no great appeals, in fact, from the West Ham players at all. So that sort of gave it its own conclusions and clues. Good chest control by O'Connell to Norwood now, deep inside their own half here. Sheffield United 0-0 is the score if you just joined us. JB Clark YouTube channel, the only Premier League commentary of the evening, and it comes from Bramall Lane, Sheffield. No commentaries on Saturday or Sunday for you because I'll be otherwise engaged in a day job I do. Our next live football will be your team, Newcastle, where we're focusing on Manchester United at home to Wolves. Statistic: 2 shots on 1 to Sheffield United. No shots on target yet, but it's livening up to be a very good game. I think two sides that like to attack. It could well be, as the game goes on. I'm hoping it will become a bit more stretched and a bit more open as the second half, as the game goes by. Whatever we got left of the first half, and which we've got halfway of it to go yet. We're halfway through the first half now, 22.5 minutes got it. Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0. And here's Edna Stevens playing a crossing there towards McGoldrick, and also Molly McBurney, they signed from Swansea, out on the far side. Newcastle reckons it's going to be 1-0 to Sheffield United. Well, they won 1-0 last time we featured them here on the game. Lundstrom has been penalised. A foul there on Creswell. Last time we featured West Ham, they were in the FA Cup. Down in deep as Kent at Gillingham, Panini's team. And won 1-0. And Newcastle, I'm going to announce he's announced to the world he's got his pupil of the week at school. He's very happy. Well done, mate. Maybe you'll become a maths genius. Maybe you'll storm it at university one day, mate. You certainly have. It's all that fish you've probably been eating. Gives you good brains. Anyway, meanwhile, free kick to West Ham United, and as I said, Lundstrom was fouled there. So David Martin, who's just come on, if you've joined us late, there has been a forced substitution in goal for West Ham. Fabianski started the game and only lasted about 14 minutes when he got injured when taking a goal kick. He's not gone off to hospital or anything. He's sitting out on the bench. Looks as if he's pulled his hamstring, I think. And David Martin, the former Millwall goalkeeper, son of former West Ham United's legend Alvin, has come on as Noble plays the ball in from the right hand side. The West Ham captain, and now the play, it's going to be a throw in halfway inside the Sheffield United half. And here's Noble again, back to Balbuena. Now David Martin once again. Martin just casually strokes the ball out to the left hand side. Balbuena hits a long diagonal but very aimless ball towards goalkeeper Dean Henderson, whose form this season has really put him into the England squad for the last internationals, and so who's praising Newcastle's achievements. And of course Sheffield United in 8th place, and they've taken 2 points from the top 5 games thus far. Of course, the JB man of the match will be in operation a bit later on. Of course, we'll tell you how to vote at the start of the second half, and then around about the 60th minute we'll open the voting, and then you guys can vote. But at the moment it's 0-0. It's been okay. It's not been a bad watch. I've seen much duller 0-0s this season than this. Off air, off mic, I tell you. The ball just almost finding McBurney there. I'll pass back towards McBurney. Now the ball back to David Martin. Martin kicks long. Edna Stevens winning the header. And then Goldrick flicking it on. But he can't find McBurney on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Sheffield United attacking the goal to my left in the first half. And West Ham the opposite end, the right. So Sheffield United, if you can have a visual readout of Bramall Lane, Sheffield United attacking the little cantilever two-tier stand where the West Ham fans are, and then the other end we've got the big cop where that's Bramall Lane, where Sheffield United are defending in the first half. West Ham, well, it is a big game for all sorts of reasons. West Ham looking to get enough points to get away from the trouble that they found themselves in when David Moyes took over. The calming presence. He's worked with some of these players before. Sebastian Haller, who they spent a lot of money on. I think it was about 39-40 million pounds. A lot of money in this window in the summer to pay out for a player that had not been tried in the Premier League, and he hasn't really hit the heights he expected. He had a good game at the start of the season, you may remember, against Watford. And this is a game where there'll be a few interested spectators, none more so than in Burnley at the moment, where Burnley are on that horrible run of form at the moment where they just can't buy a win, or can't seem to want to buy a win. Judging my recent performances, I know they won 4-2 against Peterborough in the Cup on Saturday, but I can't see them getting any points at Chelsea tomorrow. That's Burnley's next opponents at Stamford Bridge at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have a review of that on Monday morning. Or it might even be Sunday night, who knows, but it'll be. But what it does do, it gives West Ham a chance to attack now on the far side. Stevens across there doing tremendously well, getting the ball away now. Noble controlling it. Anderson taking possession. Now the ball out towards the far side. Cross comes in. It was Masaku with the cross. It deflects behind. And it's going to be a corner, I think, to West Ham United. And now here comes the throw now. The ball deflects high into the Kop stand again. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of teams that used to have a Kop stand and things like that. I think that's what it is. I may be getting mixed up with the one at Sheffield Wednesday, but I'll have to check out the Anyway, here comes the corner for West Ham. They're attacking the goal to our right, but we'll just stick with that. Might be a safe bet. Here comes the corner into the penalty area from the left hand side. Well defended there by Sheffield United. Still no shots on target as I talk to you at the moment. We're into the 29th minute of the first half at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 0. And here comes Sheffield United. Now, just to remind you of the substitutes, and we'll remind you of those in a second. Here's Zabaleta getting the ball back to Davy Martin. Martin just to hook that away with his right foot. Through the centre it goes. And there might be a chance on here for West Ham. Chance inside the penalty area. Oh, and it's missed. It was Anderson with his right foot steering the ball wide of the far post. Big opportunity that for the Hammers. The first real genuine opportunity for the away team. And they didn't take it. Oh, and Anderson will know. Got away from the defender Basham. And pulls the shot wide of Henderson, who may have had the goal covered anyway, but I've seen Anderson score better goals from further out than the one he's just scuffed there, as Sheffield United try to get an attack going there with number 2 Sam Baldock. Half an hour gone. I wonder why Russ isn't here. He may be having a Friday night jolly, who knows. As the ball is hit high and long, that's going to run out of play and behind for a goal kick to West Ham United. Well, it's still evenly poised at 0-0. West Ham are a decent outfit. They are in reputation wise, they are a very good footballing side, and usually, for some reason or another, they've not really performed to the as expected in the last few years, and it's been a frustrating time for the Hammers fans thus far. But they are a good side. They are a good team by reputation. They've brought so many great players into the game. Of course, they've just lost Martin Peters, of course, who died sadly last month at the age of, I think it was about 76 when he passed away. Great servant of the game and a 66 World Cup winner as well. West Ham, in fact, now as I talk to you, have the ball here with Creswell. Remember, at half time we'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll join you for full second half commentary of the game. Both teams are trying to attack, but maybe the defence is just a little bit on top at the moment. Hopefully if we can get a goal or two, we can get listening figures up. Just having a look at shot there at the two managers in Action below me down in the technical area. David Moyes nearest the television camera and Chris Wilder furthest away on the right hand side of it. That's Balbrena now gets the ball out on the right hand side for West Ham, but again well cut out. And Edna Stevens, who's had a smashing season, in my personal opinion, one of the players of the season as far as Premier League is concerned, a very much an unsung hero. And here's McGoldrick now keeping the ball in play on the near side. The ball played in there, but Zabaleta, the former Manchester City man, a man with bags of success and experience in his footballing career, hooking that one into touch. I personally, do you know what? I'd back Chelsea tomorrow against us. I can't see us getting anything. We haven't got a cat in hope's chance tomorrow. Anyway, here's Masaku, edge of the area. Masaku tries the shot and it's well wide of the left-hand post of Dean Henderson, and a goal kick it is to Sheffield United, left-footed strike, and in fact he hit it well wide of the left-hand post. Masaku, and a goal kick it is to Sheffield United. 33.5 minutes played, and it's not been the best first half I've ever seen, but it's not been the worst. Sometimes a game can have a really turgid and difficult first half, but we've seen many a better second half than the first half. But we haven't had too many. Well, I won't be watching it because I'll be working, thank the Lord. I'll be doing my day job tomorrow, thank the Lord. Anyway, it's still 0-0 as the ball is played over the top, and it's well cut out again. And now Stevens to get it away for Sheffield United. They've had a good first season back in the Premier League, and I'll be amazed if they tumble down the league now, because they've done well enough, I think, to stay in it. Well, moments about them being into Europe, maybe that's still beyond them yet. But here's Bagoldrick trying to flick forward a crossing to the penalty area from the right hand side. Stevens keeps it in play, finds O'Connell in towards Stevens again. He gets a good crossing from the left hand side, and it's bisected everyone, and Masaku can bring it away. Goes past Boldick, and now Anderson takes it up, but it still remains 0-0 here. Very competitive game, but still yet to produce a goal. This is Stevens again for Sheffield United in the centre this time, but he loses possession. Declan Rice, it's rather Mark Noble, picks the ball up. Now finds Declan Rice, and Rice plays a lovely ball towards the right hand side, and it's Zabaleta. And now here goes Felipe Anderson, who's missed the best chance that the Hammers have fashioned. He's past one. He's past John Fleck into the penalty area. It goes. Anderson's cross was turned away. Rice leaves it now. And Masaku from Creswell. Creswell's made a darting little run there. Needs to be wary of the offside there. Masaku still has possession. Finds Mark Noble. Noble now to Pablo Zabaleta, former Manchester City man, who's now eking out the twilight of his career. One last big payday in London before hanging up his boots. This is Anderson now, and here's a chance now, right hand side. Zabaleta, plenty of time to seize up the cross, and it's a poor cross. It's a turgid, it's a horrible, and it's a very, very stinking right foot cross. And that was straight at the goalkeeper. Luke Caton reckons I'll get 700. Well, if I keep going till February commentating, I think we might get the 700 before February. Of course, Tottenham Liverpool coming up tomorrow. It's a game I dearly would have loved to have commentated on, but unfortunately we're elsewhere tomorrow. Well, I'm elsewhere tomorrow. It's a game I would have loved to have dearly commentated on, but sometimes you can't get all the big games. We've brought quite a number of big games this season. I'm sure we'll bring you many, many more as we go into the business end of the season. Fourth corner to Sheffield United. We're at the halfway point now. This is where the wins need to come from now, as that ball comes in the air. Another Sheffield United win will do them a good, as Lundstrom Goes in there, gets the header in. He got above one of his own defenders there to head it goal bound. And behind for a goal kick. Now David Martin. It's not easy when you're coming cold 14 minutes into a game, but so far he's not really been tested by Sheffield United. Let's look at the bench very quickly. We've got Eastwood. This is Sheffield United's bench. They've got the full complement to choose from. Of course, 7 allowed are permitted. 3 can come on at any one time. So it's Eastwood. They can choose between Eastwood, who's the substitute goalkeeper, Sharp, Robinson, Jagielka, Muse, the man they got from Bournemouth, Osborne and Bezic, the former Everton youngster. Obviously they've used the goalkeeper, so David Martin, he's already on, so they've got 2 substitutes to play with and to play at, and they can use from either one of these subs. It's Sogras, Fornales, Soz, Diop, Costa and Nagaya, and West Ham in fact have won a 3 kick with 38 minutes of the first half going into the last 7 minutes of the first half at Bramall Lane, Sheffield, where it's 0-0, but it's not been a classic thus far. As the free kick comes into the penalty area. Oh, that's, dear me, that's a poor flick on. It's gone a little bit up and under-ish, and it's gone away once more and out for a throw-in. And it's been very disappointing, in my humble opinion, that this game really hasn't come to the boil. I thought this was going to be a good open attack-minded game between 2 sides that, as I say, like to attack and do like to go about it hammer and tongs. But at the moment, it just hasn't lived up to all its expectations. And here's Creswell now on the far side. Still 0-0 as we go into as the ball is played in there, and it's McBurney. Couldn't get on the end of that one. And behind for a goal kick. And still remains goalless here. That's Bramall Lane. And we're still 0-0. We're having 1 or 2 technical issues with our monitors here at Bramall Lane. As soon as we get the monitors back properly, we'll be able to keep both eyes on the game. Unfortunately, with there's communications problems again, so this is the problem when you're in the hands of the television, you're in the hands of the communications here. Russ, oh, I'm sorry that you're not feeling too good, but if you need to take time away, do that. I mean, everyone picks up coughs and colds throughout the season. It was a bit. I know it was a bit potatoes for you down on the south coast. We're having 1 or 2 technical issues at the moment, which is hampering our commentary coverage at the moment. I hope it's not spoiling your enjoyment too much. It's still 0-0, incidentally, with a couple of minutes to go to half time. We'll take that 10-minute break at the end of the first half, incidentally, folks, and we're now back live with the action. We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Still 0-0, and Russ gets better soon, and hopefully this game will get better soon. Offside against Allaire. Free kick to Sheffield United, and it still remains goalless here. Stevens now playing it towards Egan, and Egan gets the ball out to Holly Norwood, and now here goes Basham, and now the possession's just been kept really well as Norwood hits a long hopeful ball, but out of play goes for a goal kick. As Basham made a sortie forward from centre back. Sheffield United very cleverly use their 3 centre backs, and they always like to attack, even when the centre back's on the ball. They always want to have a go and attack if they can. Don't worry, Russ. I'll keep going with the commentaries until you're feeling better. You just make sure you've got plenty of limp sips on board. and I'll be in the box at Old Trafford for that replay, which is our next live commentary here on this YouTube channel. And of course, I'm very pleased to announce that we'll have the full uninterrupted match commentary of the 2020 League Cup final on March the 1st. Full match commentary of that final will be live on the JB Claret's YouTube channel. So good news there. And we'll have commentary of the first major cup final of the season, and I will be the fox in the box for that one. Meanwhile, we've got an object that's been thrown on the field at Mark Noble. There is a lot of feeling between the fans of these two clubs. Sheffield United, of course, were relegated 2007 because of some very dirty irregularities in two of the West Ham deals that were done under Alan Pardew at the time, Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano. There was a lot of dodginess about those two deals, and of course they were fined, I think, £40 million by in court at West Ham. They were found guilty. Of course, they were ordered to pay Sheffield United that £40 million compensation. They were ultimately relegated because of the Tevez goal at Old Trafford, and mind you, Sheffield United didn't keep their end of the bargain that day. Lost 2-1 to Wigan, and that was to prove to be Neil Warnock's last game in charge of the Blades. After 7 eventful years at Bramall Lane, that was the last taste of the big time. Of course, they were outplayed 1-0 in the playoff final of 2009 for Burnley. What a name that was. Any Claret watching, that was something very special. We've done the double over Sheffield United that season. Burnley got promoted as well. They did 1-3-2 here at Bramall Lane, and won 1-0 3 or 4 weeks before the playoffs began. So that was an important one. And then obviously Burnley won at Wembley as well. So 1 or 3 meetings in retrospect. This is Edna Stevens now for Sheffield United, who are playing some great football, and I have to say, Chris Wilder must take some credit. There's the cross. It's a disappointing one there from Jack O'Connell, trying to cross in from the left hand side, and the ball out of play. We've got about half a minute before the break. I'm looking forward for Trevor Sports' next commentary. Trevor Sports, of course, yes, good old Trev. Yeah, and he's going to be the subject of an upcoming documentary on here. It's a new series that we are commissioning here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. 5 YouTubers I think will be big in 2020. Trevor Sports, in fact, will be the first episode, and you'll see snippets from some of his work incorporated into the video as well. So it's an edited show essentially, and it'll be 5 YouTubers who I think who do really well and put Labour in. I think we should start an hashtag. I think hashtag Trevor Bombs. Anyway, back to the game. 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half, remember, and it's still 0-0. We might have to use some sense of humour. And if Trevor Sports is on, good evening to you. Looking forward to your next video as well. Corner kick to West Ham. Yeah, that's an idea. Hashtag Trevor Bonds. I think we could give the winner the match award as Trevor Bonds, couldn't we? Mike's on. Hey, good evening to JB and Russ and the gang. Thank you, Mike. And when you've missed absolutely nothing, only the goalkeeper's picked up an injury for West Ham as the corner comes in, and well, that's well, it's been a disappointing first half in terms of goalmouth action. There's been plenty of great action in the midfield. It's been a feisty midfield battle, but I'm afraid to say that we haven't really seen too much goalmouth activity. We've seen Anderson come close for West Ham. We've seen John Egan come closest with a header from a set piece of Sheffield United, but not really much else has come out here. But Fleck tried an audacious left-footed shot, which is charged away. We've got about less than 20 seconds of the stoppage time to go at the end of the first half, and then we'll take a little bit of a break. This is only going to this is the only game we're doing this week, and unfortunately, Mike, I'm actually doing my day job Saturday and Sunday night, so unfortunately, I won't be in a position to do any commentary. Unfortunately, um, I'm doing a mid-afternoon to early evening shifts tomorrow, so by the time I finish tomorrow and Sunday, all the good football will finish then. But we are back live on Wednesday night with Manchester United against Wolves in that cup replay as the teams head down the tunnel at half time. Well, the only things I need to report at the moment are that it's Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0, and of course, there are some things I need to report before we go to half time, before we take a little break. Is that West Ham's goalkeeper Fabianski was forced off the field after 12 minutes with 14 minutes with an injury that he picked up when trying to clear a goal kick away. It looks like he's pulled the back of his right hamstring, and that's a very disappointing moment for them. David Martin replaced him in goal and has not been tested at all thus far. And the two best chances, one forward to Sheffield United, of course, and which through John Egan with a header that just cleared the crossbar early doors, and then Anderson went clean through on Dean Henderson, scuffed his right foot shot wide of the left hand post. And apart from that, I think that's probably been it. It's been good in the midfield, it's been a decent battle in the midfield, but as I say, apart from those two opportunities, not really much else to report really. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Let's hope the second half is much better in terms of goal manufacture. We don't get too many 0-0s on this channel. The last one was Villa West Ham, incidentally, back in October. So hopefully we're not going to get a 0-0 here. But at half time here at Bramall Lane, it's Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the whole of the second half commentary, and we'll be with you up until about 5 to 10 tonight. Anyway, we'll take a 10-minute break and we'll be back well in time for the second half. It's Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 0 at half time. See you in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Bramall Lane as we await the start of the second half. Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0. There was a chance for Lundstrom as well in the first half, which I overlooked in the final summing up at the end of the first half. But a lot of people complaining of viruses and stuff there. Looks as if we're talking about an episode of casualty, and we do hope, Ross, that you're better soon and back in the JB Com box. Just to announce you that Russ has agreed to be part of our football commentary team next season, along with his cricket commitments during the summer. Because for the first time ever, we'll be covering proper cricket. We'll be covering the shorter formats of the game. So we'll be live. So we'll be giving you the 100 tournament. So we're doing selected commentary games from that, the 100 tournament, and of course we'll be doing some T20 Blast games. Myself and Russ doing commentary as well. So plenty to come up, and of course a bit of Formula 1 and a few other things to come. So we're always expanding and always trying to interest not just football fans but sports fans in particular, and try and cater to as many tastes as we can. So hopefully we'll get more sports, and of course we'll have a look at the Olympics maybe later in the year as well. New Caton's father has subscribed, and he is a very competent man. I tell you what, I've seen your dad in action on some of your videos, and you've got a good rapport at the moment between the two of you, like father like son. Yeah, there's obviously some colds and viruses. It usually is around the turn of the year where it's really cold and things like that, as Mike quite rightly says. Thankfully I'm okay at the moment. Yeah. He has a channel called Steve Lewin. Well, thank you, Steve, for joining us and for subscribing to us. Yeah, if we can hit 700 subscribers before the end of the month, that would be an amazing achievement. I have to say that in the last month or so, we've probably had about over 100 new subscribers, over 50 or 60 new subscribers in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. Definitely, and it'll be probably during the summer. Obviously football gets first dibs, but certainly Formula 1 will happen. It will probably be the European races. Some of the long haul ones start about 3 in the morning, so unless I've not got work or anything else on the time at that time, Mike, then we could do them live. But definitely the European ones, some of the European ones will probably do. Absolutely for certain. We are back live on. Just to remind you that the next live football that I can confirm to you is on Wednesday. It's the FA Cup third round replay between Wolves and Manchester United at Old Trafford, or it's Manchester United and Wolves at Old Trafford, I should say. 0-0 in the first game, and I can also confirm that on the 1st of March we'll have a League Cup final at Wembley as well, but I'll be doing the commentary for that one on Sunday, March the 1st. The teams are just about back on the field. Excuse me, got a little bit of chicken curry dislodged in my throat there. We better had a bit of a takeaway curry before hitting the mic here. As David Martin offers a prayer. So, of course, a bit of trivia about David Martin in case you didn't listen to us in the first half. That he's the son of former West Ham stalwart and icon Alvin Martin. And away we go then in the second half. Let me just remind you of the two teams. Sheffield United, Henderson, O'Connell, John Egan, Chris Basham, Edna Stevens, John Fleck, Oliver Norwood, John Lundstrom, Gary Baldock, Ollie McBurney and David McGoldrick. That's the lineup for Sheffield United as Martin kicks away down the field. Sheffield United are taking the goal to our right in the second half. West Ham, Martin replaces Babianski, of course. Creswell, Ogbonna, Balbuena and Zabaleta. Then it's Masaku, Declan Rice, Mark Noble the captain, Manuel Lanzini, and then it's Felipe Anderson and Sebastian Haller up front. On the bench for Sheffield United, Eastwood, Sharp, Robinson, Jagielka, Mousse, Osborne and Besic. For West Ham, of course, they've used their goalkeepers, and they've got left to choose. They've got 2 substitutes to go at. They can choose from either Snodgrass, Bonals, Soares, Diop, Costa, and Nagakia. Referee, just to remind you, is Michael Oliver, who's had a very quiet game so far. Not really much to do from County Durham. His 2 assistants are Simon Bennett and Daniel Cook. Bennett on the near, Cook on the far. 4th official tonight is Simon Hooper. No, not Alvin Stardust then. No, unfortunately not. No, Alvin Stardust. VAR referee is Chris Kavanagh and his assistant Andy Halliday. But as I say, it's been very quiet tonight in terms of refereeing decisions. To give me the colours: Sheffield United red and white stripes, West Ham all in a dark blue strip. Alvin Stardust. Anyway, back to the game. Yes, great singer, great performer. Sadly not with us anymore, Alvin Stardust. Certainly the last of the rock and rollers. In fact, I think I met a Alvin Stardust looking like on the bus the other day, Sue, funnily enough. Although he pretends he looks like Elvis. It's Alvin Martin. In fact, he was born not far from where you are, actually, Sue. You might know the place, Bootle, near Liverpool. That's where he was originally born many years ago. He's a Scouser, but a West Ham legend. Anyway, here's Dean Henderson, who's beginning to forge a very good reputation as a goalkeeper. His performances for Sheffield United this season. A long kick forward, and this will be kept in play here by Oliver McBurney. But back comes Masaku to get the ball away for West Ham, right down on the near side touchline. We're sat in the Tony Curry stand, which is the main stand where the television cameras are all situated here at Bramall Lane, and of course Sheffield United, the toast of Sheffield. Although Sheffield Wednesday starting to go well again under Gary Monk, still an outside chance of promotion back to the promised land. They haven't been, their neighbour Sheffield Wednesday haven't been in the Premier League for 20 years exactly. They've had some really bad times themselves. Wednesday, they've played in the 3rd tier since losing their Premier League status back in 2000. Sheffield United were in League One as recent as 2 years. It's 24 months ago, but successive promotions season before and last season have certainly propelled them, and what a season they're having here this evening. If I can get another couple of wins, I think they'll be okay for the season. I really do. But you never know. You were making that point last time. In case you remember, Mike and Sheffield United. Mike covered the last game that we did Sheffield United. He was co-commentator with Russ Vernon, and he was mentioning Stevenage in the commentary. I remember it very well, and I was presenting that night when they beat Arsenal. Not that I want to remind Mike of that, but it put Umar Emery close to the exit door at the Emirates, and they're starting to revive themselves a little bit under Arteta, although they had to battle it out on Monday in the cup against. Wait a moment, here's Fleck with a shot. Oh, deflected, and Fleck again shoots. Oh, just wide of the right hand post. John Fleck. Just shooting again with the right foot. It was left foot. It was very close that time. McGoldrick inflicted on Fleck with the left foot, blocked there by 2 West Ham defenders. And maybe Fleck then, if he had his time again, he might have. I think he probably had a bit more time to seize the situation than he did. But a genuine chance 5 minutes into the second half. Still 0-0. At the moment, Leeds are going really well. They gave Arsenal a good game. I was just about to say, Mike. Give Arsenal a good game on Saturday, and we've got England football royalty, Gareth Southgate, in the crowd this evening. Steve Clarke as well, the Scotland boss, in full cry as well. And we've got England and Scotland managers in the Tony Curry stand, not far from me. Gareth Southgate, looking at 1 or 2 maybe potential suitors for England. Declan Rice, of course, in the squad, although he played 3 friendly matches for the Irish Republic. The next games for West Ham are Everton at home, Leicester City away, and then Liverpool at home. So 3 really tough fixtures. Everton are buzzing again under certainly in league terms under Carlo Ancelotti. They were beaten in the cup when they should have won. You may remember on Sunday they missed 3 glorious opportunities, Everton, to put the tie beyond Liverpool's reach, but didn't take them, and that goal from Curtis Jones was an absolute belter. One of the best goals I think I've seen this season. Put any goal that Mo Salah scored to shame. But anyway, here's Masaku for West Ham. Near side, he puts a low cross in, but it's dealt quite well there by Basham. Chris Basham, and he gets the ball away, and it looks towards McGoldrick, who tries to keep the ball in play, but can't succeed in doing so. It's going to be a West Ham throw-in. 51.5 minutes gone. It's still goalless here in the Premier League, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. The only Premier League game we're covering this of the latest round of fixtures. This is the first of 10 games taking place over tonight and tomorrow and Sunday, of course. As the ball comes into the penalty area, we haven't had too many 0-0 draws coming up this season on the JB Clark YouTube channel. As the crossing from the left is turned away for a corner off Balbuena. And all of a sudden, it's all Sheffield United at the moment. Edna Stevens has had a terrific game putting in the cross. Fleck fed him, and then the ball came off Balbuena and behind for a corner. It's still 0-0, and it's Sheffield United. John Fleck has come close, though, Sue. And the ball played in there towards McGoldrick, who can't keep his header down. And it was also McBurney. I think it might have been McBurney, in fact, who got the header in. And still we await the first goal here. It was well-worked corner. And McBurney and McGoldrick and John Egan, of all people, will only with a shout there. They're all queuing up inside on the edge of the 6-yard box to try and head that goal bound. But, yes. Oh, it's a loose ball, and McBurney has picked it up. And the ball in there. McBurney will score, surely. Yes, he will. Here was a poor kick out from David Martin. And Ollie McBurney takes full advantage of it for Sheffield United. And they deserve the lead. And, well, Bramall Lane's gone absolutely mad. And it's not one that David Martin will want to think about in a hurry. Poor clearance, really. Straight to John Fleck. Plays the ball across the penalty area to the right-hand side. And he just about got it in there. In fairness to Martin, he tried to rectify his mistake, but it goes through. So, in fairness to him, he almost saved it. But it was very sloppy from David Martin. And Ollie McBurney tucks it in, although it wasn't a convincing finish, although Martin, in fairness to him, almost saved it. It's his 4th of the season in the league, and an important one for Sheffield United as they look to try and get to those 30 points very quickly. They started the night in 8th place. Of course, other teams may well overtake them should they move further up the table. Good night to you, Newcastle, and have a good rest of your evening. So 1-0 to Sheffield United, and they've been the better side. They've threatened it right from the word go in the second half. And I can tell you now that we're not going to have another goalless draw. We're going to have we've always brought you at least one goal every other game, and I think we've only had 2 0-0s. Over 40-odd matches we've covered live this season in commentary terms. And I think of all those matches, we think we've only had about 2 goalless draws. It shows that we pick good games and give you value for your money in terms of goal-mouth excitement on this YouTube channel. And you get this for free. So we give you value and you don't pay a penny. Here's Basham with a throw on halfway to Sheffield United, who deservedly lead 1-0. But it's West Ham who are making defensive mistakes. And David Martin, the substitute goalkeeper, will not want to look back on that moment when he gave the ball away and then made a complete hash of the McBurney goal with too much fondness. The ball has beaten McBurney out of play for a throw-in. And it's buzzing now at Sheffield United. The chip body song is there, and you just think, would Lucas Fabianski have made that same mistake? He's there on the bench, covering his face. Poor David Martin.
Well, goalkeepers are there to be shot at, really. It's a specialist position, and when you make a mistake, it gets the goalkeeper who makes the mistake. It doesn't matter if you're the best goalkeeper in the world or the worst. Any mistake that you make is pounced upon, and is always picked and piked at by the television experts and radio experts. But David Martin will be absolutely kicking himself. He made a mistake, remember, in that quarter-final when playing for Millwall, when he made a mistake which led to a Brighton equaliser in that never to be forgotten cup quarter-final at Millwall, when Millwall looked to have won the game, and then David Martin made an absolute hash of a free kick, I think, which went straight in. And Sheffield United, at the moment, as things stand, I think they've only had 2 defeats. That were to Crystal Palace and to Newcastle, most notably this season. But here's Mark Noble, and he's been muscled off the ball now, and Sheffield United playing to their strengths as they have done all season. This is what's impressive about them. They don't have any fear. They take the game to the opposition. They say to us, "Come on, beat us at our game." And at Bramall Lane, they've seemed to have done everything right. And it also works when you pick up a few points away from home. That's why, currently, as things stand, they'd be in the top 6. And you look at the achievements of Chris Wilder as a manager, it's just, it seemed to be believed. And 1-0 to Sheffield United. And now Anderson to bring it forward to West Ham. Haller, who's been non-existent. Anderson again. Manzini turns away in disgust, having seen that attack break down. Here's Lundstrom now in the centre circle for Sheffield United, who lead 1-0. A goal from Molly McBurney 5 minutes into the second half. And here goes Declan Rice. Now the ball can't break to Haller on the edge of the penalty area. Mike is reporting down there. He's our reporter tonight, standing in for Russ, who's got that virus. And Mousset is telling that Mousset is looking to be coming on, and McGoldrick's going to be the man being withdrawn, that Mike tells me. And it was nice to hear Mike earlier on in the season on our airwaves, and hopefully we'll hear more from him. And here's Anderson now, deep inside Sheffield United territory. Sheffield United attacking the goal to our left. The 2-tiered cantilever stand where all the West Ham fans are situated in. 3,000 of them have made the trip up from the M1, and at the moment trip is a wasted one at the moment. Anderson playing a loose pass. There is Mousset, as Mike's quite rightly predicted it. He also predicted the player who was going to be replacing as well. David McGoldrick coming off then. He's battled really well and is getting a good ovation from at least 3 sides of Bramall Lane. 30,000 or so Blades fans appreciating the hard work that McGoldrick's put in, and even Mousset applauds him as well. Right, let me just tell you now quickly that the JB Man of the Match award will be in operation in a few moments from now. All you've got to do, if you're new to the channel, is vote for the player that you want to see win. So the name of your player, and you hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM, please, and that voting will begin in just over 30 seconds from now. I will tell you when to vote as soon as the 60-minute mark comes in, and you can vote anytime you want between only one vote to a person, please, but you can vote anytime between the 60th minute and the 90th minute, and we close the vote at the 90th minute mark. And now the voting, as Sheffield United have possession, is now open. So half an hour to choose your Man in the Match award. Whoever gets the most votes wins. If it is a tied vote, or if the vote is level, then I get the casting vote over the microphone. And Russ Burnham says Ollie McBurney, he's worked really hard, and his goal, however fortunate and how lucky it's come, is certainly a goal that's certainly been earned anyway. For his, he would have earned a goal anyway because of his word rate and dedication to the thing. He's really done magnificently well. Creswell now has it on the left hand side for West Ham, trailing 1-0 here in this Premier League encounter. And then given away now to Declan Rice. Infield now with a chance here for Anderson. Zabaleta offers himself on the far side. Now Mark Noble takes the ball. Finds Creswell. Creswell back again. 61 gone. 1-0 to Sheffield United. There's a little phrase above that two-tier stand in the roof there, forged in steel, and Sheffield United are made of very stern steel stuff tonight. Sheffield very famous for its steel, which just seems to be in a dying breed in this country, unfortunately. But here's Masaku for the men, the Hammers, the Irons they call themselves. But it's the Hammers that they're affectionately known as, really. I know some people would class them as the Irons in terms of nickname. Here's Mark Noble now for West Ham. And to my left, there are not many of the 3,000 West Ham supporters who are happy Hammers at the moment. 62 minutes gone. JB Man of the Match vote is now open. Russ has set the standard, and that's what you've got to do. Name your player and JB MLTM. And that's what Russ has just done. He's got, and Ollie McBurney is leading the vote for that as West Ham try to pick a way through here with O'Connor looking to seize his moment, but it's cut out quite easily there by Egan for Sheffield United. And what they do, well, not on any occasion they've given the ball away, and it's a West Ham throw-in. And here is number 24 here, as Masaku plays it back, and now chances here. It's Noble with the cross, and again uphill handball. West Ham not given, and here goes Edna Stevens, and up front is Mousset. Mousset's on his own, and McBurney's to his right, and here's a chance now for Lundstrom, and here comes Basham. Basham shoots, blocked by Cresswell for a corner kick to Sheffield United. Basham making a tremendous break down the right hand side at the end of the move, and Basham trying to beat the goalkeeper at the near right hand post and almost putting Sheffield United 2 ahead. Lundstrom did absolutely terrifically well, and in fact it was Baldock rather than Basham who went for goal. But it is a corner, and John Fleck to take the corner, left footed in towards the near post, and Sheffield United came so close to a second then. Ollie McBurney pursue, so 2 votes for Ollie McBurney for Sheffield United as we just see that corner. And Lundstrom claiming it was a corner. It should have been a corner to Sheffield United. It did come off a West Ham player last. Michael Oliver deciding it came off a Sheffield player. It remains 1-0 to the Blades, and they're cutting like a knife, like a steel knife through this Hammers defence, and cutting through West Ham's chances. And is it any wonder that visiting teams do not like coming to Bramall Lane? Chris Wilder, of course, a boyhood blade, a local lad, a local boy done good, has played for the club, has been a ball boy for the club, done everything now the manager, and what a job he has done. I tell you what, if he doesn't get manager of the year, then there'll be something very, very wrong. I know Jurgen Klopp will be the purest spokes, because obviously the play that Liverpool have played their football this season, but in terms of what Wilder's achieved on not much in the way of a budget, and being able to bring the players he's been able to bring in and keep the group of players he has even from the League One days, I think this is a magnificent achievement. We're told we're just half an inkling that it might be Snodgrass coming on for West Ham. They need someone creative, and Snodgrass is a very good set piece taker. We're inside the final 25 minutes plus stoppage time of the game. Sheffield United, as things stand at the moment, would be heading into the top 6, although having played a game more than most of their rivals in the top 8 or 9. David Moyes. And again, Mike, bang on the money. Robert Snodgrass about to come on. Mike's getting everything correct tonight. The boy can do no wrong. This is why we take on the very best in commentary and reporters on this channel and moderators. We pick the very best. And we don't cherry pick them, they come to us. They come to me and I mould them into terrific commentators. And yes, Mike will be getting a few games before the end of the season. Hopefully we'll have Chris Whiteman back on the channel pretty soon doing his commentary as well. And of course we've got the European Championships, the cricket as well. We'll have the 100 this season, commentary of the 100 tournament, and we'll have the T20 Blast, and of course 1 or 2 of England's T20 internationals as well. So plenty of T20, plenty of short format cricket live. Masaka coming off for Snodgrass, Mike reports. And good evening to Trevor. Good evening to Trevor Sports. Belated good evening all. It's still good evening. It's still evening, Trevor, last time I looked. And yeah. Yes, we're trying to get hashtag Trevor Bonds in there as well. We might try and use Trevor Bonds as a potential prize for the Man of the Match award. But good evening to everybody there. Good evening to you, Trevor Sports. And anyway, I'll keep banging the drum for Trevor Sports. It's a great channel. If you haven't seen Trevor Sports, watch it, and watch all his stuff. He puts a lot of stuff into it. And at BBC TV Centre, it's been a nightmare. I think he's run out of material for Sports Night. We can't do any cup replays, can he? But yeah, as well, it's a good job I'm doing radio commentary and not television commentary, isn't it, Trevor? Anyway, Des kick off. Apparently, Des has kicked off. Apparently, I've nicked his name. I thought he might have been happy with Des. I thought Des would have been quite happy. Anyway, Sheffield United sub Mike reports that Bezic is on for. Who's going to be coming on for Lundstrom. Well, he's been bang on the money, our Mike, tonight. Down on the touchline for me. And hopefully, hopefully we'll get Trevor, the man behind Trevor Sports, onto our commentary team as well. Because I think he's a good. Oh, the chance here, a goal from a free kick, but the offside flag is up, I think. The goal does not count. Offside. And West Ham's night goes from bad to worse. Now will VAR check this? Was he onside as the ball was played? No, he wasn't. He was off. It was tucked beautifully to the back of the net. It was 22 with the finish. It was Sebastian Haller. Tucked it beautifully to the left-hand corner, but the flag was up, quite rightly so, for offside. And the goal, quite rightly, does not stand. I have to say the officials have been really good. Well done, Simon Bennett on the far side there. Great decision there from him. Well played. Bezic is on for Lundstrom again, Mike. Bang on the money once again. Fantastic. And yeah, Mike in complete agreement. He has been. I have to say the officials have been quite good today, and no problems for VAR at the moment. Chris Kavanagh is having a bit of a quiet night down in London at Stockley Park, with his assistant Andy Halliday. They haven't had too much to look at the moment in terms of real clear-cut VAR decisions. Goal kick to Sheffield United, who lead to West Ham United. Sorry, who trail 1-0. Goal in the 52nd minute from Ollie McBurney, who's also got 2 votes for our Man of the Match award, and the JB MLTM is open for another 20 minutes. 2 votes from McBurney, who's winning our vote at the moment quite unanimously. Sue and Russ have already voted. Anyone else in the next 20 minutes would want to vote? Name your player, please, and you must hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM, please. West Ham have got another free kick about 15-20 yards inside the Sheffield United half. Robert Snodgrass, who put in a terrific free kick last time, but Sebastian Haller took away, but he was offside. Takes another free kick in towards the far side again. And again, this time the flag again up for offside. It may have been a foul this time by Haller rather than offside there. But once again, a good second delivery again from Robert Snodgrass. We're putting it into that danger zone inside that Sheffield United defence. I'll tell you what, if that was offside, there wasn't anything in it at all. Des needs to get a grip. Well, we don't just bring you live commentary, we bring you live improvised comedy. In fact, it was a foul there on our current man in the match, possible man in the match winner, Ollie McBurney. We're inside the final 20 minutes. And West Ham looking for a way out of this maze at the bottom. Burnley on a very bad run at the moment. They go to Chelsea tomorrow, and the pessimist in me as a Burnley fan thinks that they'll get no points from that one. As the ball's whipped into the penalty area there by Creswell, dealt away brilliantly, and then McBurney to complete the clearance. Now having a terrific second half here, and Besix has played a lovely ball now, and here comes McBurney. McBurney now into the path of Norwood. Norwood, of course, born in my hometown of Burnley. Now Edgar Stevens, who's had a terrific season, one of the unsung heroes in this Sheffield United side. A second goal will surely kill the game off for West Ham, but losing here is no disgrace. Bigger teams have lost here this season. Manchester United should have lost here as well. The best games of the season there at Bramall Lane, that 3-3 draw. As we go into the final 17 minutes plus any amount of stoppage time that the fourth official Simon Hooper would want to add on. And Mousse's inside the area. Mousse, good save. Mousse hitting it right-footed, and Martin making amends for his mistake with a terrific save from point-blank range. Here's the shot coming in, and it's straight at the arms of the goalkeeper. I think it might have been Bejic who in fact had the shot in the end. But Mousse had the chance. The flag had stayed down, and the right foot of David Martin, who came on as a first half substitute. I have to say, Chris Wilder, I think you look at Trevor Sports, I think when you look at how Sheffield United, they've really overachieved. And I have to say, if you go back in my archive, me, Chris and Russ did a commentator's preview show, and me and Russ unashamedly went for Sheffield United to finish bottom with 10 points. That's how much we didn't feel that they didn't have much of a chance. How wrongly we've been proved. It's actually nice to be proved wrong. Sheffield United have been amazing and a great addition to the Premier League. I have to say, Chris Wilder up there, Brendan Rodgers as well, we have to agree with him. And of course the Mercurial Jurgen Klopp. Here's Mousse into the penalty area, just to the left of the 6-yard area, mind. He's been forced out onto the left hand channel, and he gets the ball back again. Oh, lovely play from Mousse, looking to pick out McBurney, but he didn't succeed in doing so. Now here's Declan Rice, who hasn't really done too much in the way of impressing Gareth Southgate, the England manager. And Anderson and Haller involved. Anderson being tagged there. Free kick to West Ham. Michael Oliver trying to keep a lid on it. Solskjaer. Well, he looked a laughing stock the other day when his team were out-fought 3-1 in the League Cup semi-final. Just to remind you, whilst we're speaking about the League Cup, just for a second before the free kick's taken, that the League Cup final on the 1st of March, Wolf will have live, uninterrupted commentary on the JB Claret YouTube channel. The first major cup final of the season, 1st of March, on a Sunday. It will be neither between the two Manchester clubs who face off in the second leg, 3-1, and Leicester, or between City or United and against Leicester or Aston Villa. Both second legs take place in just over 10 days' time from now. Final 1st of March. No shots at goal yet. 14 minutes left to play. It's Robert Snodgrass who can take a good free kick. Lanzini, we've seen hit 3 kicks. Nuno as well. It's probably tactically performed the comeback of the season, of course, in the game. Here's Lanzini as the 3 kick comes in. A terrific save! Hit it beautifully right footed. It was on target. It was gone inside that left hand post there. And what a big right hand from Dean Henderson. Hasn't done his England squad chances any harm at all. When a save like that, as Mousse hits another shot that goes into the stand behind the goal to our right, and a goal kick to West Ham. What a save that is. Dean Henderson had to scramble well and truly across his goal. That's going in for me. And the man in fluorescent green makes a super save and then has the audacity to get up there and pounce on the ball well inside his penalty box. That was unbelievable goalkeeping there. David Martin at the other end, take note. And a little bit scrappy now in the midfield area. Sheffield United 1 up, but not selling the game up just yet. There still might be a couple of opportunities in the offing for West Ham before the second half is at a conclusion. Here's McBurney, whose goal looks like could be winning it. Here's Mousse inside the area, it just wouldn't break, and Cresswell was able to mop up the pieces and get the ball away for West Ham United, who trail 1-0. They had a terrific win at Gillingham in the Cup on Sunday. They haven't played well enough tonight at the moment. One first shot on target coming from the free kick of Lanzini a few seconds ago. 12 to play. It's Sheffield United 1, West Ham 0. Here's Matt Burney, the man they got from Swansea. Edge of the penalty area. It's John Fleck who came very close. Edna Stevens into the area. Stevens has crossed, deflects, it's a corner. Tell you what, Edna Stevens, he's had a terrific match himself. And if I was voting for the man of the match, I would have probably put him up there as well. But it's Ollie McBurney who's leading the charge. Mike's boldly predicted that there's going to be another goal in this game. Mind you, most of his predictions have come off spot on tonight. So it's Solly Norwood with a corner from the far side in towards the near post. Comes out to the edge of the area, headed forward, and that should be David Martins and his. Trevor Spawns is predicting 4-all. What, with 12 minutes to go? I love your optimism, Trevor Sports, I really do. 4, it would be lovely if it was 4 apiece. It would make this commentator I could go to sleep a very happy man, but I'll take a 1-0 as long as it's not goalless. We in corners. I love what Trevor's having. Chris Whiteman back on our screen. Hopefully we'll have him back on commentary duty very, very soon. 10.5 minutes to go, plus any time added on for stoppages, and we are into the bowels of the closing stages here, as Sheffield United on course for another famous victory, really making a real name for themselves this season. Chris Wilder's men, to have 2 promotions like they've done, and in the manner in which they've done it was brilliant enough, but to accumulate potentially the points they've got, and it's just been beyond even Chris Wilder's dreams, really. I was going to say Wilder's dreams, but that would be really putting a pun on it. Anyway, here's Aaron Creswell, the former Ipswich man, gets the ball down the left hand side, but again, them 3 centre backs, I've got to tell you, Basham, Egan and O'Connor have had magnificent games as well this evening. As we have Norwood now on the ball now. Last 9 minutes of the game. Been a remarkable performance from Sheffield United. West Ham have forced Henderson into making one of the saves of the game. I'll be having a beer
afterwards. I'm sure Trevor Sports will be having one at this Trevor Sports bar. At his muck up of the television centre. Does Sean Bean still play for United? Sean Bean. Well, he's a big Sheffield United fan. I think he's referring to when Saturday comes, where Sean Bean is the star in that. He has a tattoo on it, Trevor Sports, that 100% Blade. Sean Bean, of course, famous for his portrayal of Richard Sharp in the television series of the 1990s. One of the best well-known people to come out of Sheffield. Of course, Marty Kane. Oh, well, as I was saying there, Declan Rice is in. Now a big chance. Oh, saved again. At the near post. Lanzini had the chance. He was chasing hopefully here. The mistake was by John Egan, who slipped. Lanzini got in there, hit his right foot shot, but in fairness, it wasn't a very difficult save for Dean Henderson. 8 to play. Snodgrass with the corner. West Ham trailing in this one by a goal to nil. Another good delivery by Snodgrass, but out comes Henderson to read the header on. Chris has just been reading the order reaction on Twitter. There's a lot of outrage with Fabianski. A lot of people have stuck him into their fantasy team. Well, I think it's a repeat of the injury he picked up at Bournemouth. I was looking at the analysis on television during the half-time break whilst we were off the air, and it's a recurrence of the same injury he picked up against Bournemouth. Now, on that occasion, it was a hip injury, and he was out for anything up to 3 months. And he had major surgery on it. So, well, who knows? We're going to possibly see Fornales come on from Lanzini, and Billy Sharp is going to come on as well. There is Billy Sharp, as Mike quite rightly predicts. So we're going to see the end of number 18. This is going to be Fornales. So he's on. Lanzini, who's just missed that chance, is on, and McBurney, we're hearing, is going to come off. He's currently leading the standings in the JB Man of the Match award. You've got just over 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes before the Man of the Match vote scores. If you wanted, it's McBurney leading with 2 votes. If you want to change that, name of the player, or even increase it for Ollie McBurney, you can choose the name of your player, whether it's McBurney or Billy Sharp. I don't know if you'll go for Billy Sharp. He's just come on the field as an example. Billy Sharp scores goals there. I'm just seeing a banner in one of the stands here at Bramall Lane. Anyway, the Man of the Match award, name of your player, hashtag JBMLTM, and the winner gets £500 of non-existent Trevor bonds. Sorry, Trevor. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Lanzini down the left-hand side. Good tackle again by Basham. Still 1-0 to Sheffield United. Inside the final 6 minutes plus any stoppage time that Simon Hooper, our 4th official, will want to add on. There's going to be a terrific finish. Both sides, says Trevor. Anyway, 0-0. I don't think your real name is actually Trevor. Is your real name Trevor? I don't think it is, actually. But anyway, the ball played in there towards... couldn't tell who it was, actually. Might have been Anderson, but he's lost possession in any case. And here goes Mousse on the break for Sheffield United. Down the right-hand side, it's Des. Okay, Des. As it's a throw-in, and well won Mousse. He's done really well. I've really enjoyed watching him come on as a substitute as well. Sheffield United have impressed me this season, and it's my first opportunity to come on and commentate on these guys. And of course, Russ had the pleasure of commentating as well. Liam is a Manchester United fan, and as we're going to see a yellow card and the first of the night. In fact, to Besiktas of Sheffield United. Professional foul here as Anderson making his way forward. We absolutely cleaned him out, and the kitchen sink, of course. And absolutely cleaned Anderson out. He's actually down injured at the moment. Mo Besic has now been booked.
So we've just got to break you play while they deal with Anderson's injury. He's been in the walls a bit tonight, the West Ham player. This actually looks a very serious injury. And they might be concerned here. David Moyes, I think now, has got his work cut out, and I think you'll need a few quid in the January window if they're going to stay off relegation here. David Sullivan and David Gold will have to try and give funds to David Moyes. I wish Mike Gold would do the same at Burnley, but that's a different issue for a different time. And our next, let's just remind you that our next live commentary, make a note in the diary, and you included Trevor Sports, is that we're going to be at Old Trafford on Wednesday night for that cup replay. Manchester United against Wolves, which ended in a very disappointing 0-0 draw at Molineux. As if Sullivan and Gold will actually spend money. Well, they spent quite a bit on they did spend a lot of they did spend quite a lot of money on Sebastian Haller, £42 million. As well, Gassins in another good free kick, and it was almost pinball machine inside that penalty area, but Sebastian Haller misses another glaring opportunity. Heads it down, but he heads it down onto the floor and bounces too high over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick to Sheffield United. And I'll try and waste as much time within the rules, of course, as much as they possibly can. And I've got to tell you that if you're planning on going out on a Friday night and you didn't bother and you listen to us, well done to you guys. This commentary is better than a Friday night boogie, isn't it? We've had a Friday night football boogie. Tottenham Liverpool to come tomorrow, but we won't be covering that game tomorrow. That's a 5:30 kickoff. I'll be doing my day job. Dean Henderson is Mike's man of the match, still trailing in the boat, but he's done very well. So what, 2 votes for McBurney, 1 vote for Henderson, and he's made some good saves as well. But when he's signed up a good keeper that, but he's not had much to do for a while, and he's done well, terrifically well. Moyes has got a job on here, and this is good news as far as Burnley are concerned. What we're fearing, what Watford are doing at the moment under Nigel Pearson. He has worked the oracle very well. As we look at Billy Sharp here, Mr. Sheffield United, John Fleck as well. 1-0 to Sheffield United, and that was an unfair challenge according to the referee. I think I have to say Michael Over's had a good game. I don't usually go in the business of praising referees too much in some of my commentary games, but on this occasion I think he deserves a little bit of praise. Final minute of normal time. We'll be leaving you just after the final whistle here at Bramall Lane. But what a performance that West Ham have really Sheffield United rather put up against a West Ham side who have really flattered to deceive, really. I'll explain all that at the end as the ball is played into the penalty area. West Ham looking for this equalising goal. I have to say that I think everyone concurs that Michael Over is probably one of our best officials. I wonder if UEFA will be making English referees and officials available. They weren't around for the last World Cup in Russia. As we go into the final 10 seconds of normal time, and then it's all eyes on Simon Hooper, the 4th official, to see how much longer more still will be added on as Sheffield United counter-attack right at the end. Besic takes possession, 3 added minutes, and here is Baldock into the penalty area, right hand side. Baldock to the byline. Baldock's cross turned away by Martin, and we're 15 seconds into the first of the 3 added minutes. And all Sheffield United have to do is not do anything stupid. Just keep possession. Do everything professionally. And see about their victory. That's all they've got to do. And just frustrate West Ham. It's just about professionals pride for the next 2.5 minutes. Football boogie, still decent disco after. Here comes The kick now from Henderson. 3/4 of the way up the field, but out of play on the far side. Deep inside West Ham territory. And that will take him another 5 or 10 seconds to get the ball back and get it into play. Well, it's going to be another fantastic feather in Sheffield United's cap if they do hang on for the remaining 2 minutes that remain of this game. A fantastic performance, a team performance, which you come to expect. But wait a moment, here's Rice. And there's a chance here for West Ham. Oh, it's gone in off the post. And it's Robert Snodgrass, the substitute. And David Moyes punches the air with relief and delight. And 3,000 hammers go absolutely wild. What a crucial point that could be in West Ham's battle to stay in the Premier League. 90 seconds remaining. And Chris Wilder will be furious. They didn't show that professionals pride I was on about a few seconds ago. A long ball forward. Snodgrass got the ball. The ball brought kindly for Declan Rice. The first piece of good work he's done in this second half. And he lays it into Snodgrass. And has got them an equaliser. And a crucial point away from home. Not many teams get points here. Could Henderson have done better? I think he got a glove on this. Tipped it onto the post. Maybe another day. That might have stayed out. But it's nestled sweetly for Snodgrass anyway. Into the bottom left-hand corner. It's his 4th goal in the league this season. And, well, is there a potential handball? It's the first time VAR has been called into this. Chris Kavanagh, who's had a quiet night up until this point at Stockley Park. This is a big decision. Possible handball. Now, what's the referee given here? They're still checking. Players are surrounding Michael Oliver, which is not going to help things here. No goal! No goal! And Sheffield United stay in the lead. There was a handball in the build-up, it looks like. David Moyes has got a face like thunder. And Snodgrass's 4th goal of the season has been chalked off. He remains on 3 and West Ham remain on 0. And that's surely the last act in what's been a dramatic second half. Declan Rice cannot believe it. It's ending a little bit farcical here, but dramatically as well. Snodgrass is disgusted. The Sheffield United fans, you can tell what they think of it. They're absolutely over the moon about this. In the Tony Curry stand, we've played well over the 3 minutes of stoppage time. And Chris Kavanagh, who's had a quiet night by VAR refereeing standards, has made a very, very big decision. And Michael Oliver, I'm surprised he didn't run to the big screen like he did at Crystal Palace on Sunday. So we played a minute over the 3. I should stress that the 3 that were added, they were a minimum of. But maybe Sheffield United will feel vindicated for past misdemeanours that West Ham created, which sent Sheffield United down. They'll feel it's vindication and justice for what happened with Tevez and Mascherano all those years ago. None of it's got a bearing on this particular occasion, but it's a great performance. Nevertheless, and West Ham will feel aggrieved. I'll be interested to see what David Moyes says afterwards here. And I'm going to give it, because of his opportunism, I'm going to give it Ollie McBurney. So Ollie McBurney gets the Man of the Match award. We got so carried away with the VAR stuff and the West Ham equaliser that we didn't really do the Man of the Match win the 5th minute of stoppage time. So it's McBurney who's got the Man of the Match, but Henderson did really well as well to get involved in the voting. Well done to him. Final whistle! And Chris Wilder has beaten David Moyes, who's got a face like thunder. Chris Wilder will be a very relieved man as he makes his way down the tunnel into the dressing rooms. And Sheffield United move into the 30s, 32 points in 5th place. West Ham staying 16th on 22 points and stay below Burnley in the table, thank heavens.
Owen McBurney's goal after 53 minutes the difference, but VAR controversy potentially at the end when West Ham thought they'd equalise through Robert Snodgrass. But an on-ball was spotted by VAR in the build-up to the disallowed equaliser, and the goal, as a consequence, was chalked off. And, well, what a finish here at Bramall Lane. You certainly get your value for monies here, that is for sure. And Sheffield United walk away with all 3 points and go into 5th place. What a season. They only need another 8 points and they're safe for next season. This is the sort of season that Chris Wilder's side's having, and when the luck's running for you, they've ridden with it. To give them their fair dues, a tremendous performance. It would have been a little bit unfair if they had drawn that game, but having said that, what a fantastic performance. This is the equalising goal again. They felt they got that thing. Yeah, there's the handball. Declan Rice clearly handled it with the right hand and left hand, and the goal didn't stand. But there you go. So that's the way it's finished. McBurney's got man of the match as well for his performance as well. Credit to Dean Henderson and Carl as well. They really did terrifically well themselves. But it's Sheffield United who take the spoils, 3 points, and move themselves into 5th place. They've beaten Sheffield United here they've beaten West Ham United here by 1-0. I hope you very much enjoyed it. Remember, we're back at Old Trafford on Wednesday night for the Cup replay. Thank you to everyone, Chris, Mike, for his contributions, Travis Sports, Sue, New Caton earlier, and Russ, of course. I hope he gets well soon. But what a performance. Sheffield United 5th place and only 8 points away than that magical 40 point. But West Ham, plenty of soul searching for them to do. From me, JB, have a fantastic rest of your Friday and the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Wednesday night. Take care. Good night.